What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. We are starting our off-campus reading series, and of course we have to start off with the first book in the series, which is called The Deal, and this is of course by Elle Kennedy. Now, this series is going to include spoilers, so if you don't want to see that, then I don't recommend watching. I will be uploading a longer form video of the reviews of the books, so stay tuned for that. So to start off, we're going to talk about, okay, what is this book even about? Like, what are you getting into when you're reading it? And this book follows Hannah and Garrett. And also you learn about your found family in this book too, which is obviously this is going to be about hockey. So it's about a hockey team, and it's about 4 hockey players that live in the same house. They're buddies, they're teammates. They are just so cool. They really are. And I love all of them. I am only on Dean's book. So I've only read this one, The Deal, the second book, and then I'm on the third one. So let's just get into, what is this book about? What are you getting into when you pick it up? And this is a hockey romance at its core. You do have a found family, so you do follow 4 hockey players that are on the same team and their love interest, basically. And this first book is about Garrett and Hannah. Literally love them so much. They're currently my favorite couple in the series. So this is about a hockey player who needs a better grade in his class, and there is Hannah, who is doing amazing in the class. She is a singer, songwriter. Her major in college is, I don't know, what is it, like musical arts or something? I don't know exactly what the major is, but musical arts, something like that. And she's acing this class. He needs a better grade, but he also is not just like a dumb jock. He cares about his grades. He works for what he wants. He's not lazy. He's not afraid to put in the work, basically. But he needs Hannah's help to understand the material in the class. So he tries to get her to become his tutor. And she's just like, no, boy, listen, like, I am way too busy. I got way too much going on. I don't have time to try to get you a better grade. Like, figure it out yourself. Find someone else. And he quickly learns that she has a crush on this guy named Justin Cole. And he's like, hello, I got you. Like, I can get this guy to date you. I can get this guy to like you. Let's fake date. So the trope in this book is fake dating, which I'm trying to recall. I don't know how many fake dating trope books I've read. Not many. Not any that I can even remember. But I'm telling you right now, I will forever remember this one. And another thing about this book is that it does deal with some very hard topics. Like, both characters are going through traumatic things from their past. This is spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers, don't listen. But Hannah, I mean, in the very first page, you learn that Hannah was previously raped. And so she's dealing with the past of that and the trauma it brought not only onto herself, but to her family. I mean, she can't even go back to her hometown because that's just like how traumatic it was. And of course, the boy that raped her is the mayor's son of that town. So you can only imagine what that did, and the cover up and everything that their family went through, which is a huge like court case. I mean, all of his friends and his family just like basically said that she was lying, and she wasn't. And the whole case and everything made her family go into debt. And so they're stuck in this town that they don't want to be in because they just don't have the money to leave. And everyone, they're just like outcasted in the town. And so she just refuses to go back to the town, which is totally understandable. And then you have Garrett, which his background is his dad is this famous hockey player, was just a legend in his prime. And unfortunately, he was a legend on the ice, but he was abusive at home. So you're dealing with Garrett, who had an abusive father and was also abusive not only like towards his mother, but to him also, especially after his mother passed away from cancer. So he just has family demons also. Well, Hannah doesn't have family demons, but she has some demons. Anyways, but Garrett is just dealing with those demons of his own, and he's living in this legend's shadow, his dad's shadow. And he's like the only one who knows that like this guy is just terrible. Like he's not a good guy, but everyone on the outside just looking in thinks that he's like this awesome person, and no one understands like why Garrett just doesn't really care for his dad, and everyone else is just like obsessed with him basically. They're both dealing with some really hard things, hard topics. And what I really enjoy about this book is it is dual POV. So you do get Hannah's POV, you get Garrett's POV, and it's just really nice to like understand, especially when they're having those moments, those triggering moments of their past and how they're feeling, what they're going through, and it just makes the characters so much more relatable. I think that's why I really enjoyed this book, and I'm really enjoying the series because Elle Kennedy makes the characters so relatable. I have read some romances that I unfortunately had to DNF, at least at the moment. I may pick them back up, but that I don't know, the characters felt just so surface level. These characters, in my opinion, don't feel surface level. I really connected with them, and they're just like the best. Also, another thing that I absolutely ate up in this book is their banter, their chemistry. It's just so good. Like, I don't know how Elle does it, but she can write chemistry and banter, and it's just like so good. Like, I'll be reading and I'm just like giggling. Like, yeah. I first discovered this book because I saw that Amazon Prime released a show. I had never heard of this series before, unfortunately. Which I'm kind of glad that it took me so long to get into it because I'm just enjoying it so much, and I'm just going to be so sad when this is over. I am going to continue reading, obviously, the first, off-campus series that she has, but also she has some spin-off series that I'm going to read too, just because I love this universe so much. But I did find out about this book because of the series that came out, and I'm like, I have to read it before I watch because just the teaser trailer, the trailer for the show looked so good that I was like, if the show looks this good, like usually books are better. So I'm like, I gotta read the book. And which in this case, like the show, oh my gosh, they did such a good job with the show. The show is literally giving the book a run for its money because it's really good. So if you do read this, I definitely recommend watching the show after. And honestly, this book, I had kind of given up hope on ever really getting into romance books again. And I'm really just getting into reading again in general. So I just didn't think romance was going to be in the cards for me because I feel like a lot of romance is just cringy. Like there's too much spice, and the spice that's in the book just doesn't make sense. It's like, oh my God, like no one would ever do it that way. Or like, it just feels forced, and it feels like, oh, it's too soon. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's kind of cringy. So I had kind of given up the hope on romance books, but I feel like there is spice, obviously, in this book. But I just feel like it's so warranted. Like, the characters, obviously, when you're talking about a romantic relationship, there's going to be sex. Like, it just is. It is what it is. And it's a part of life. So I think in romance books, it does need to be included, but it shouldn't be forced, and it shouldn't be weird and unnecessary. And I feel like this book does such a good job with it, especially with the characters, what they're battling with inside. Obviously, this book is called The Deal, so fake dating. Garrett approaches Hannah about the tutoring. He realizes that she has a crush on Justin. He's like, I got you, girl. Let's fake date, and we'll make him want you. You know what I mean? So she's like, okay, deal. Let's do it. I'll get you the grade. You get me the guy. So one of my favorite parts of the book is when they go to the karaoke bar. And I'm just going to read like a little snippet of just this moment, which is so sweet and cute. With another brilliant smile, she takes my hand and starts dragging me away from the tiny dance floor. Where are we going? I ask with a laugh. I have to pee, and you promised to be my bodyguard, so that means you have to wait outside the door and stand guard. Those mesmerizing green eyes peer up at me, flickering with uncertainty. You won't let anything bad happen to me, will you, Garrett? A lump the size of Massachusetts lodges in my throat. I swallow hard and try to speak past it. Never. Oh my gosh. Like, just, that's such a good example of like their dynamic. It's like Hannah literally asking, you won't let anything bad happen to me, and Garrett being just like this hockey player that's been with a bunch of women, and he gets like choked up that she asked him that, and he's like, never. Oh my god, so good. Another element that I love about this book is Elle, which is Hannah's best friend. She is so good. She's such a great character, such a great friend. And I think that is one of the things that is so gravitating about this book and the series is that there's no toxicity. Like, there's no like toxic friendships or toxic like masculinity, or it's just, it's so good. Like, and it's so pure, and you just have a really great time reading it. You really do. And of course, you have the lead up of, they make the deal. They're trying to make Justin jealous. Through that process, they start having feelings for each other, of course. And I think the kicker of when it becomes, we're doing this deal, we're just friends, to, okay, I have feelings for this person and I want it to go further, is when Hannah decides to ask Garrett to help her have an orgasm because she can't, considering her past trauma. And so, I mean, she can have one with herself, but she's never been able to have one with someone else. So she asked him to do that for her so that when she gets to that stage with Justin, she'll be able to. And Garrett, being the lovely friend that he is, agrees to it. That's kind of when Hannah tells Garrett her backstory and what happened and why she can't get to that point. And he agrees to do it because he's just a friend who cares for her. So. Which I think that's when it leads into one of the most iconic parts of the book, parts of the show too, is him getting her to that point. And there is a dual masturbation. Okay, that's what happens. And I've never read a scene like that before. And like I said, the spice in this book is warranted. It makes sense for the characters. Like, they don't just hook up, It's an unconventional way of intimacy that I've never really seen in a book that I've read anyway. And it just makes so much sense. They become closer after that. And I think that's really when Garrett is like, okay, I really like this chick. And there is a small hiccup where Hannah agrees to go on a date with Justin, but doesn't tell Garrett about it. And this is kind of in the same time when they decide, like, okay, let's give this a shot. Let's date and see if it can go somewhere. And Garrett learns about it through, I think, one of his teammates. I can't remember exactly who told him about it. But then he's like, what the hell, Wellesley? Like, excuse me, we're dating and you have decided to go out with and you've decided to go out with Justin. And she's like, I'm sorry I didn't tell you. Like, I don't know. She was just confused about it. And I'm trying to think, what exactly did happen? Yeah. Oh, wow. I literally opened the book to the exact freaking page. It's cool. So let's see. So Logan tells Garrett that they have some plans. And immediately we go into Hannah's POV. She gets a text from Garrett. Need to talk to you. Now? Yes. Sure, call me. Actually, I'm at your door. So he like immediately just goes to Hannah's unannounced. Garrett doesn't move. He doesn't unzip his jacket. He doesn't even blink. He just keeps his gaze locked on mine. Is it true? I gulp. Yes and no. For the first time since he got here, his expression flashes with emotion, annoyance. What the hell does that mean? It means he asked me out, but I haven't decided if I'm going or not. Did you say you would? There's a grim edge to his tone. Well, yes, but... What do you mean you haven't decided if you're going? I give a helpless shrug. You're not fucking going, Hannah. His sharp voice makes me wince. Says who? You? Because last I checked, you and I aren't dating. We're just fooling around. Oh, so they're not dating. Yeah. I said I don't have time for a girlfriend, he shoots back. But guess what? Priorities change. I falter. So you're saying you want me to be your girlfriend? Yeah, maybe that's what I'm saying. They make it official. Now, there is a third act breakup in the book, and I mean, it's a good third act breakup. Well, actually, first what happens is Garrett goes off on this guy, which is, in the book, his name's Delaney. So the guy that Garrett actually punches and gets in a fight with in the book is the guy that assaulted Hannah's friend that lied for him. So that's different from the show. That kind of sets up the scene for the third act breakup, which in the book is initiated by Garrett's dad. Garrett's dad approaches Hannah and is like, he did that because of you. You're screwing up his future. And if you don't break up with him, then I will cut him off. And he won't be able to go through school. He won't be able to play hockey. And his dreams are over, basically. And Hannah's like, well, like, I can't let that happen. Like, I love Garrett. His passion is hockey. This is what he wants to do. So she breaks up with Garrett. And he's like, bullshit. Doesn't believe. I think her excuse in the book was, we're moving too fast. We're still in college. I want to experience other things. I want to date other people. And he calls bullshit on her. He basically tells her, like, okay, prove it. Let me see you date other people. And in the book, he ends up doing a hands-off campus-wide. He does a campus-wide hands-off. Hands-off rule? Or something. Is that what it's called? A hands-off rule? I think. Or warning. Basically, he tells everyone on campus, like, she's my girl. Don't date her. Stay away from her. She finds out because people are acting weird, and another iconic scene in this book and in the show is when she finds out about the campus-wide hands-off law. She bombards the locker room to confront Garrett, and of course she sees like 1,000 penises. Not 1,000, but several. And it's really comedic in the book. It's really comedic in the show. It's funny. It is handled a little bit differently, the hands-off law. The hands-off law Garrett does not do that in the show. He does do it in the book. I think it is really good in the book, and I think that the way that they changed it in the show is probably good for TV, so I get it. But it is really good in the book. And she approaches him and is like, what the hell, Garrett? And he's like, I know you broke up with me for bullshit reasons. I don't believe you, and I know you want to be with me, and yeah. So he ends up finding out about his dad's proposition to Hannah. They figure it out. They get back together. She does the showcase, and I'm pretty sure in the book she does win the showcase. In the show, I think she gets second place or something like that. But I do recommend reading this book. It is so far my favorite in the series. Like I said, I've read the second one, and I'm on the third one. But The Deal literally has my heart. This series has my heart. I did rate this book 5 stars because my enjoyment was 5 stars. I love the characters. I love the writing. The plot is great. The setting, I mean, it's college hockey. So I absolutely ate this up. I do recommend reading it, and let me know if you do. Let me know your thoughts if you've read it, and stay tuned for part 2 where we talk about The Mistake, which is Logan and Grace's story. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!